So you could probably just grab your camera, go for a hike into the woods, and hope the light does something magical or spectacular for you, right? Of course, maybe it will actually, but sometimes, you'll just end up either cold and tired and wet, or hot and sweaty and tired and wet, or you could end up miserable, sitting staring at the sky or the open woods like it owes you rent.
Yeah.
So that's why I play my landscape shoots like obsessively. Today, I'm going to walk you through how I go from a vague idea to a final image using just a few apps, some solid tools, and maybe a slightly unhealthy need for control. Ansel Adams had once said, and I'm paraphrasing here obviously, that most of photography is just knowing where to stand. There's nothing quite like waking up at 4 a.m., hiking 2 miles into the woods, setting up your tripod, and realizing that the sun is rising in the completely wrong direction. Go ahead, ask me how I know. But that's also where the planning comes in. It helps you figure out where to stand for when the moment is going to happen. But where does it all start? The idea. We're all on the internet. We see other people's work, inspiration from social media, even the random snapshots from friends and family that make you think, that could actually be something kind of cool. Or it comes from that brief moment of insanity of, I wonder what would happen if. So usually what happens for me is I jot down those ideas that I have in a notebook or in a Excel spreadsheet where I track, trip ideas, plans, location ideas, other kind of things like that. That sheet is kind of a scary place, so we'll skip the show and tell on that there for now, but I think you get the idea. But then also, that's where the research begins. And you'll notice the camera still hasn't moved off the desk. For me, the research is part of the fun though. Partially because I am a nerd, and I love putting these kinds of puzzles together, but also because the deeper I dig, the more ideas that get branched out of that original idea. One idea leads to 5 others. Or sometimes it just helps to refine the original idea into something way more intentional than I originally had intended. So, and just like the camera, I'm usually probably still sitting in my recliner or right here at my desk working on the plans. Not the glamorous explorer photographer lifestyle that we're sold on social media, but this is the groundwork of getting there. But this is also where the apps will come into play. They help me put together the plan and start to answer the question, where do I need to be to make this image happen? So the first layer is access. How do I get there? So I'll start with a Google map or satellite view of something, whatever, and then switch to Avenza PDF maps. Avenza lets me load offline topographic maps, pinpoint locations, extract coordinates, and save collections of spots that I want to check out or scout out for my research. What I love is that it works even without cell service as well. So I can kind of track my GPS position and see how far off I am from where I meant to be and where I need to go in order to get back there. That has saved me more than once. The next layer is light and celestial events. I need to know where the sun and moon are going to be, and if I'm shooting at night, where the stars on the Milky Way might line up. This is key not just for shooting, but also for scouting. Knowing light direction helps you choose your foreground elements before you're even on location. So that night shot, you're not tripping over the rock that you want to take the picture of. So for that, I use a combo of PhotoPills, Stellarium, and PeakFinder. They all give me different pieces of that puzzle for the final plan. PhotoPills is where I get the sunrise and sunset times, angles, and directions. It lets me see where the light is coming from at any time, at any place on Earth. It also gives you a general direction of the Milky Way when it rises and sets and stuff, but also meteor showers as well, and how all of those events line up throughout the night with the different light windows. For night photography, or astro work, I move on to Stellarium. That helps me locate the radiant from meteor showers, or where the Milky Way will be in the sky, so that way I have a visual point of reference. Because, let's be real, anytime that you see one of those articles online or whatever that says, look for the constellation Pisces, I just blink at the sky. I'm not an astronomer. I don't know the constellations. So Stellarium makes that process kind of James-proof. Then lastly, visualizing how the terrain interacts with the light, I use PeakFinder. It gives you a silhouette of the mountains and the hills around you. So if I want a photo of a full moon setting behind a mountain, like Mount Whitney, for instance, I can check to see if it's even possible and when to try. They have both a web and a mobile version, which is also super handy. So think of it all like layers. Avenza gives me the where, PhotoPills gives me the when, Stellarium adds the why, and PeakFinder shows me the what. Together, they help me predict whether the shot that I'm imagining is even possible. From here, then it's all about the execution. But the planning doesn't stop there. In the days leading up to a shoot, I shift to tracking the short-term variables, things like the weather, cloud cover, wind, traffic, even trail access. There's nothing more frustrating than planning a midday waterfall shot, only to find out that the road is closed because of a bike race that no one mentioned, or more likely, that I never noticed the announcement of. From there, I'll check the weather apps to see what the sky might do. If I want dramatic light, I'm going to be looking for 30 to 70% cloud cover. If I want reflections, I need low wind. Some days the forecast, when I look it up, just kind of says, nope, and then I have to pivot. Also, you need to know the season. A location that is epic in the spring might be dry or overgrown in the summer, or completely snowed in the winter. So make sure to check trail access, conditions, and any permits that you might need as well. I've learned that part the hard way as well. So yeah, I plan a lot, but what you get out of it is a photo that you didn't just stumble across, you designed it. Nothing wrong with taking that spontaneous shot, but you gave yourself the best chance to be in the right place at the right time with the right tools at the right moment when you plan your shots out. So that's how I approached Death Valley in the Alabama Hills last year. I had never been there before, had no idea what I was going to find besides what I saw on the internet, and didn't even know when I might be back. But because I planned it all out, not only did I get the shots that I envisioned, I found better ones while I was there. So if you've never planned deeply before, give it a try. Just take one idea. All it takes is one. Build a plan around it. See what you get out of it. You might be surprised with how much more consistently things come together when you have that plan. So then when it all clicks, the light, the location, atmosphere, it feels like the photo was just waiting for you to show up. So make sure to make a plan, get out there, take some great photos, and thank you very much for coming along with me on this video. I really do appreciate the support. Make sure to give this video a like. Any comments that you might have, leave them below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I said, thank you very much for coming along. Have a good one.